to, just so that we have them, let's put it here. Okay. And then I grab the input puller and throw that there. Huzzah. Okay, so I've got the input puller basically set up in the scene. Pretty straightforward. You should have gone over to the input puller for combat at some point. If not, you'll want to, or just build the script. I'm going to rebuild the script from scratch because it won't be that big of an issue. But the idea here is, let's make it assets lab 2. We'll just create a new script called tank script. And I'm going to put this on. Make sure the constraints, constraints are correct. Okay, so we're going to create a tank script. I'm going to do this by hand. Okay. First thing we're going to do is input data. Public float move speed equal to I'll do 10F. And public float rotate speed, I'll do 120. Update's going to be pretty straightforward. It's going to be should be input. So input is going to be equal to input polar self reference. It's reference. Get input player number. And then first thing I need is a public int player number. I think we'll do 2. All right. We'll do the void move forward. Value. Move, rotate. Tank float value. And then void fire projectile. And I'm just going to do a debug.log fire. We do need a rigid body. So RB. I do want to do the game object. Just check Unity quickly. Yeah, it's on the same level, so I don't need to do in parent. So we're just going to move forward, input dot left stick dot y, and then rotate dot left stick dot x. All right, so pretty much straightforward. Not left trigger. There we go. And then finally, if input or projectile. Okay. So just to get this all into play, just to make sure everything that's working right now, I'll set this player number 1, just the keyboard and mouse. And I will collapse this because it will spam. Here's the fire. Let's go look at assets. Oh, I want to be using 2. There we go. And let's go in and just do was press this frame. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna make these press buttons, and we'll restart. Okay, so pretty straightforward. Let's go back to the tank script. Forward, so basically it's going to be our rich body dot linear velocity equal to game object transform dot forward times value times move speed. And then this is going to be game object transform rotate three dot up times value times rotate speed. Oh, and time dot delta time.
Forgot a comma.
Thank you. All right, so I'll come back. Don't need to debug these anymore. So cool. Things are working. Let's get back, make sure this is 2. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's set up. So is it UI? No, where is it? UI toolkit, where is it? It's not here. I know what I need to do. So I need to create. I'm gonna use. Yeah, I'm gonna use an image. I'm gonna make this 30 by 30. 50 by 50. Sounds a bit better. And we'll just put this there, 225. This will be 100 over. Do I want raw image? We'll use this for right now. Okay, the component we want is on screen, this on-screen button and on-screen stick. This will be pretty easy. I can use on-screen button to start off. And then it's going to be the control path. It's basically, hey, what is this being mapped to? And in this case, it's going to be gamepad button north. And make sure I save the scene. I'll press play. Wonder if that's not what I want. Delete canvas UI. There it is, image. I wrote it. On-screen button. Gamepad. Button north. I'm using button north, right? Yeah, I am. Okay. Oh, and I need to go and set this back, set this to 0, which is basically the gamepad. So right now, let's set this at, again, 50 by 50. All right, 40 by 40. 225, 220, negative 225. All right. And if I go, you should see this. Now that I'm going, you see that as I click on there, I am getting a button. So now that I've, again, the big thing is that the tank is now getting the gamepad like as if it was there's a gamepad connected. And that's the thing, is that these are basically, hey, I can make an interface with these pieces. So here's my first button. We'll come back. Let's go back. There should be 100. And this will be button RR. Duplicate. Left. And this will be negative 100. And then on this, I'm basically going to, just so we have something on here, UI, TextMesh Pro, the essentials. I thought I'd done that already. suppose you. Okay, BR. Okay, and I'll bring this down to 24. So position, basically, I need to bring like 10 and negative 15. There you go. Okay. Negative 10, and this is going to be button L. And in this case, we're going to go and map that to gamepad south. So I am not using that as of yet, but we'll come back to that in a moment. So here we go. I've got 2 buttons. Let's go do something with it. I'll go back to my code. Edit script. Boom. South. Void fire 2. Log fire 2. In fact, I'll just do fire 1 up here. Fire 2. So now that I've got that in play, I can go back to Unity. There's fire 2, there's fire 1. So I've got two buttons up and going. So buttons, pretty straightforward. It is make a UI element that can be pressed. Again, there's probably a lot of script you can do in terms of like it reacting as a button and all of that. But for our purposes right now, we want something on the screen that we can click on and it will react. I am going to go back to these 2 right now, and I'll make these 50 by 50. And I can make these a little bit bigger. 28. There we go. All right, I'm going to take these. I'm going to duplicate. I'll duplicate one of them. This will be negative 225. This is going to be stick left. So I'll go in. It's going to be SL. I'm actually going to move this up the stick negative 200. Do 150. 175. There we go. Okay, so we're going to take off the on-screen button. And this time go with on-screen stick. Control path, again, I'm going to do, this is going to be the gamepad left stick. And the movement range is how big of a circle can this move in? Right now, it's going to be 50 pixels. A behavior relative position with static origin. So, and I got to do that all over again because I was running. Duplicate. Remove component. Add component. On-screen button. Gamepad. is it? Oh, I did a button again. There we go. On screen stick. Okay. Gamepad, left stick. There we go. And then this is stick left. Negative 225. And it'll be negative 175. And then I'm just going to go in and just do, okay. And then I'm just going to duplicate this, stick right. This will be set to the right stick. It's going to be positive 225, and then I go in text. This is going to be stick right. Okay. Let's go in and just grab just so that we can see the right stick and left stick in play. So left stick, I'm going to use up and down for the Y. Again, I'll maybe eventually I'll put this back, but for yeah, for our purposes right now, I'm going to stick with this, just so you can see both the two sticks in action. And I go press play, and I click, and it's going to drag this around. And then I can turn it. So the 50 is how far from the center is it going to go out. You can see now, hooray. And that should, again, should demonstrate, you know, fire 2, fire 1, forward, back, left, right, or clockwise, counterclockwise. And that's pretty straightforward. I mean, like you have, this is why I say, well, I told you to get the combat assets from the previous term. I mean, you can just plug in, I mean, you've got the input polar already. It's just a matter of just plugging in this on-screen controls. I'm using letters on tops of the image to make things easy. But obviously you'd want to like build out like an actual like interface, you know, actually use buttons, you know, hey, here's a stick type stuff. The only thing I don't have going right now is actually shooting. I mean, I'm getting the buttons responding with fire 1, fire 2, but I'm not actually firing anything or doing anything the other button. But that's, you know, more depth, you know, you'd want to get it, you know, if you went with your full game, then it's just a matter of getting the interface on screen. And that's pretty much, I mean, this is a very light lecture, pretty straightforward. Any questions about what you need to do? If you don't have your combat game, then just, you know, build something simple. I mean, this could have been a box with another box to indicate which direction was the forward. Any questions? What you're, you know, basically just demonstrate, you know, the on-screen, you know, something like this. What I've got here, something simple, you know, control the your combat level character. Any questions for me before I stop the recording and let you guys just get to work? Okay. All right.